I don't think that's the only reason why I lost. I think the reason I lost is because I played badly. Okay, so he's doing an e6 Sicilian. And he's pinning my knight. Interesting. Interesting. Because this pawn isn't even under attack, so the pin really does nothing. That's usually the way to lose. Yep. Okay, so he did all his stuff. Let's kick this bishop and see if he really wants to take. I don't think he does. Yeah, it appears he didn't really want to take after all. Okay, so knight here to here and get a pawn up. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do in this position. Put the bishop here and put this knight over here. Could bring this bishop out. I know, I'll step aside with the king and push the f-pawn. Take this square away from his knight. And I say I could put a pawn here, but then this would not have set up some threats along this diagonal. This bishop is loose here, so if this knight moves, yeah, depending on where it goes, might be able to get a tactic here. Okay, let's migrate this knight over to the other side. Ah, he pushes the f-pawn. Okay, let's create a weakness here. Oh, is he thinking of taking with the knight? No. Okay, and then attack that. Yeah, let's get the queen off the back rank and threaten this pawn. He brought his queen over to defend his bishop. Yeah, now the bishop there threatening my knight is not really much of a threat, is it? So I would really like to get the knight to this square, but I guess it's not helping. So I just take the pawn. That's why it was good to move the king aside before pushing. Okay, knight could go to here. There's also Queen and knight concentrating on this square too. So yeah, he's focused on this pawn. Do I really care? There's the queen check here. Boy, that was dumb. The queen was needed to defend the knight. That's why I'm losing. If the rook goes back to defend here, I have a bishop here. So he brings the queen over. So he took there. Let's go with the check. Okay, now this is pinned. Let's see, can I do something to attack that bishop? Not really. Not easily. Queen to this square might be useful. Bishop here. You know, I have one of those positions with both bishops bearing down on the king side. And with the queen coordinating, it could be dangerous. So yeah, he stopped that. So we go here. Right there. That's annoying. That's definitely annoying. I can take it. So what all is hanging? My bishop is hanging. No, it's defended. Is this bishop hanging? If he takes it, I can take with the rook. Yeah, but then this bishop is hanging. Got my piece back. Okay, defending the pawn. What do I want to do? Not lose on time and not get mated on the back rank. Those are my priorities. This is hanging, I guess. Okay, we can take here now, I hope. Yeah, so that's a trade. You just need to make sure he doesn't have any discoveries with that rook, but I think I can defend, yeah. I think I can defend my rook. So we do have opposite colored bishops, which means it's going to be a tricky game. Probably should put the queen here. Okay, he went there. Let's get my bishop to a safe spot. Yeah, he ran out of time. I think I'm actually winning here at the end. Let's see if that if the computer agrees. Yeah, +5. Okay, because his bishop was in trouble. Here we go. Mosen BBB. Plays the Sicilian. Okay, we're gonna get Sveshnikov. Or is it, this is the Kalashnikov, isn't it? Because he has not yet played this night out. But now he does, so we might transpose into a Sveshnikov. No, he's going to play something different. So I can go here with check. See, he steps the king up to attack my knight. I can go back. Yeah, normally they play d6 there instead of moving the bishop, so that I can't do this trick. Oh, and he's going to leave my queen there. When they do play this line on purpose, then the move is queen to e7 there to force a queen trade. Knight b5. Ah, knight b5 looks good. I didn't think of it. I was thinking bishop b5 or bishop d3. think I like bishop b5 better. Bishop d3 blocks the queen's retreat. But yeah, knight b5 is probably a winning move. And thank you for the follow, Chess for Chess for Feel. Chess for Feel too. So he has a backwards pawn and I have a bishop pair, which is why they don't usually play this opening. I was waiting to see if he would kick me. I can take this at any time and give him a doubled pawn over here, but I don't have the pieces to exploit it. I see, knight here, here, here is a possibility, I guess. I did decide to kick my bishop. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. So I put a knight there, he takes, I take, he takes, I take. It is threatening this pawn. So we get into a rook and pawn endgame, where he has a few weaknesses, but should be able to hold a draw, I guess. Which way? I think I will keep an uneven pawn structure here. So if he takes, I'll take back with this pawn. And we'll see what I can do over here. So push, take, I take, he takes, I step up here. His king steps up here. Kind of annoying. So I'm just going to try and run him out of moves, I guess. I've got some spare moves over here. This turned all blue. There, he went that way. But I want you to run to the other side. If I push this pawn, he pushes and he gets a passer. If I push this pawn, it's a take-take. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to fake him out here a little bit. Get some action going here, and then when his king is out of play, I'll suddenly push pawns over here. A delicate maneuver. I do have this outside passer over here. And I want my king over here. So that's it. Now I push, and if he does nothing, then it's 1, 2, 3 to touchdown. So he will take, I will take, he will take, and then I push this one, 1, 2, 3. But when I'm here and he goes here, he steps inside the square. So I need the king over one more. Now I push, he takes, I take, he takes, I push. His king can only step back to here. So that's an engineered breakthrough, they call it. So he pushes. Yeah, I'll just, doesn't matter how I go, really. This is checkmate. The king still has a move, so let's see. What's the best way to do this, though? The pawn can move, right? So I'll just go here. The king has no moves. And then that's mate. Well, that was nice. I missed the... Oh, let's stop. Let's go back. Joe was saying knight b5 just wins. The Lowenthal variation, that's what they call that. So was that my first chance to play knight b5? Yeah, queen here. Knight b5. Well, first of all, let's see if that's the computer suggestion. Yeah, knight b5. Bishop g5 was rated pretty well, as highly as well. Okay, but knight b5. Because you get this check. Take the queen. And then the rook. And you have to give up the knight, but you can even sacrifice it for a pawn because you gained a whole rook. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. But if we back up, yeah, knight b5 was winning, and other moves are just less. Like I played here, I think, right? Oh, I played bishop b5, but I was also thinking of this move. It's not as good as bishop b5. Yeah, about the same, I guess. Okay, let's play another game. Yeah, so maybe I'll get to show you my anti-London system, my latest anti-London system. No, he doesn't. He's going for a standard opening too. Okay, this is a Slav, an exchange Slav. Okay. Kind of dull. I think I can get the bishop outside the pawn chain. Then play here. Pegman, hello. What is that emote? Classy hi. Oh, just saying hi. Hello. Okay, so his knight can come here to here. The squares are all covered. Oh, my play is in pretty sad shape, honestly. Yeah, I can't. I'm kind of occupied with other things, so it's hard for me to keep a regular schedule on the streaming. So I just stream at random times. Anyway, and hello, Chess for Feel. So, and my playing has been affected too. So you can see my rating has dropped down to 1727 here. Normally, it was closer to 1800. Previously, I should say. So he wants to stop my knight from coming in. How's your Q rank in comparison? Well, my Q rank suffered too. I dropped from 8Q to 10Q on Fox. So, and I dropped from 1800 to 1700 on JimsChess. But I've been doing random Fox streams as well. Go streams on Fox. So he wants to put his knight here. After he does that, well, I could play a pawn up just to prevent that. Then I have these two weak pawns here forever. So, he wants to put his knight there. So if I take it, he will take with the e-pawn and give himself a weak d-pawn, or will he take with the g-pawn and open up his king side? Anyway, let's take it. Okay, it's the king side opening he went for. That's good. So let's get this knight up here then. Oh, he can kick my knight, huh? Yeah, he can. Okay, I'm defending this pawn laterally at the moment. I don't know if I will continue to do that, but at least that's what I'm doing now. He's got a real weakness here, but can I get to it? This square. If I get a knight here to here to here. So how do I get there? Knight here, here. E4 incoming. Ah. Yeah, it could be. Ah. Okay, put it on this diagonal, which is annoying because I just put the rook there and you're going to make me move it again, huh? Okay, he is building up to e4. See, so a knight here would be more pressure on e4. But this rook is a kind of a liability because of this diagonal breakthrough here. His king position will be left kind of weak if I can find a way to exploit it. Queen over there, so he's not doing that right away. Okay, let's get the knight up. I could put the knight here. Yeah, I could come up this route because the queen would have to move. So it buys me a tempo. He doesn't like the knight there. Interesting. And he gave up on e4. So I could put my knight here, threaten his bishop. I gave him an eternal knight here, as they call it. Okay, push through in the center. If I go here, what does he do? Pushes this pawn. Hey David, how you doing? Okay, he's trying to weaken this pawn. You know, I do have this fork here. He has to respond because otherwise I'll take his queen, so. Can go there. So now I've got a light squared bishop and he has a dark squared bishop. I have a queen check here. If he takes here, it's not a threat at the moment, but his rook can come in. I don't know if there was a checkmate there. The checkmate would have been good if I had it. So bishop here. Yeah, I am too slow at the moment. This knight has nowhere to go. I kind of wanted to push the f-pawn, but I would have to push it all the way to f5. It's because this knight needs a place to go back to. So maybe I will put the bishop here. The danger is that Yeah, I think I'm going to just simplify things by bringing the knight back around and trading. It's too much to keep track of. So he went there. Interesting. Okay, he's going to do that trick again. Oh, no, he's got the rook here. Yeah, he's pushing the f-pawn as a double attack. Shoot. Let's get somebody new. Oh, no, let's stop. What were you saying? About that game? Take pawn and check first. So take the pawn. Oh, no, I moved and he moved. So then I take the pawn. Take the pawn with horse to c3. Or c6. Well, c6 is where the rook is. Not sure without coordinates. c6 is where the rook is. This knight is hanging. Oh, this pawn, f3. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. So in the game, what'd I do? I just took the bishop. Yeah, I could have gotten a whole rook. Nice one, yeah. Well, I don't get a whole rook. I only get the exchange. He moves the king. Doesn't matter where. I can take here. I can take back, or I can take back with the bishop. Yeah, that was a tough game. These pawns in the center, after I doubled them, were controlling a lot of squares, so I was having trouble maneuvering these pieces over here. And eventually I just ran out of time trying to think about things. It took you only 100 comments to convey your thoughts. Yeah. Well, the king side is F, G, and H. And the queen side is A, B, C. So C is over here. F is over here. Okay. Let's get another game. Yeah, so you were right. Even though it took me a long time to understand what you were saying, you were definitely right. We have a Sicilian, a classical. I guess, let's see, unless he does something funny. Yeah, this is the classical Sicilian. Okay. He dropped his knight back. That's a bit unusual, isn't it? It's a waiting move. He wants to take this knight, huh? furious. Oh, how exciting. Let's see if he's really, oh, it was a fake out. He wasn't really planning to sacrifice the bishop there, play a fishing attack. Yeah, I'll go ahead and castle him. This knight is not under attack, so I can play here. And develop the bishop. Eventually, this is going to be weak, huh? This d pawn. Let's bring a rook over to help defend it. Ah, he solves my problems. Oh, one of those guys. So if I ignore this bishop and play here, he can take, bishop takes. How about I go here? Pins the bishop so I could take with the knight. I don't like inviting his queen over here, although it's probably correct to take that. We could look at it after the game. Atari the king and go for ko. Let's see if he takes another pawn, then I can take back with the king. The problem is the queen. The queen can come over here. Yeah, normally this is safe because it keeps the queen out of this square. But in this case, it's not safe. I don't think it's safe. Although I do have a knight here. Helps a little bit. But I can't put my rook here because queen here is would be mating. Maybe it's mating anyway. Well, one thing I can do is sack the exchange here. Okay. Now the queen will have to leave. What have we got? I've got 3 pieces. Yeah, so I got 2 pieces for a rook. Oh. Yeah, he was definitely going to mate me if I didn't get rid of that bishop. Maybe there was a mate there anyway. So rook up and king over to unpin the bishop, and then the queen will have to leave. I guess that's an idea. This rook is too far away. This pawn will take 2 moves, and then the queen has to move to break through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, I got 2 pieces for a rook and a pawn. That's the kind of the classical. Okay, well if you do that, I'll just trade queens. Okay, what to do? I could put the knight here. Let's put the rook here first and then the knight. Okay, I've got a fork. Fork coming up, and I opened up this diagonal of the bishop. I'm still in trouble over here. Yeah, let's do that fork. It'll help. It'll help on this side. Okay, the queen ran there, so let's take the rook. That'll unpin the bishop. Let's, oh, I can't take another rook. Oh, shucks. I wanted to take 2 rooks. He could have taken my knight. Why didn't he take my knight? Was there a trick? Okay, well, let's just use this knight for defense. So 2 bishops for the rook and a knight for the knight. That's usually good for the side with the bishops. This knight is pinned, but it's defended by a pawn, so, and I took this pawn, so it can't be easily attacked. Maybe push this pawn, unpin my knight. Oh, it didn't work, huh? Okay, threatening mate and keeping this pawn defended. Of course, if you mate someone, it doesn't matter if your pawn is defended or not. I was thinking also of coming here, threatening his rook. I guess that would have worked too, but I didn't like the idea of losing that pawn. Okay, what now? step up here. I'll keep his rook tied to the back rank. And I maybe can step forward with the king and take this pawn. Now the queen is going to go there, huh? If he puts the rook here, I can put the bishop here. See, the knight here defends the bishop. So this is controlled. Yeah, the threat is here. Queen can go here. But then what? Knight takes. I mean, rook takes, knight takes, queen takes, right? I just won that. Although I am kind of tied up. Oh, I know what I can do. I can go here. And then there's the check there. Well, I think I have to do this. Maybe give up that pawn because I don't have any choice. Yeah, don't have any good way to stop the checks. Now the knight has to move. Such a pain. I want to get the knight around to this square. So what have we got here now? Put the bishop here if I get a chance. But he's not letting me. He's got the check here. Okay, and I can take here. Put the bishop here. The knight covers this square. Okay, so attack the rook. And what do I do? There we go. I finally made a mistake in time trouble. I just will kind of inch this pawn along, I guess. There we go. Could have taken pawn, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Oh, I did finally get that one. Well, my opponent helped me out a lot on that game. Let's get somebody new. Back to e4. Good old e4, e5. Ruy Lopez. Okay, the old Steinitz defense. I've been playing this one a little bit. It's not the main line. The main line is to keep the tension, but this can be, it can lead to a big center for white and trading off of the light squared bishop. Yeah, mate is better than grabbing a pawn. That's one thing you learn. But yeah, in getting this big center, I did fall behind in development a little bit. He can take this pawn. But then I get my rook here. So he chose not to do that. Okay, I'll castle. Ah, and then he takes that pawn. But what happens if I kick the queen now? I guess it doesn't help. Okay, I take, he'll take with the queen, this will be hanging. I could play this move. Oh, I just bring the queen up first. So my pieces will all be developed here. So let's kick the queen. Queen can't stay on this row, which is important to me. I want to be able to develop my pieces here without trouble. Now this bishop here. Okay, I don't want to trade the bishop for that knight. See, the knight can go here and put pressure on this pawn. Oh, I can just take it, I guess. Okay, we'll drop back here. Keep it off the back rank. Yeah, he is looking at this kind of thing. Okay, let's bring the rook here. So if he puts a bishop here, I can lift my rook up. Yeah, let's do a rook lift anyway. I can put the rook maybe here to push his queen around. I can also try and keep control of this square. Okay, now bishop here, pawn takes, knight here, pawn takes. Get the knight to this square. So I moved the bishop out of the way so I could do this maneuver with the knight. I don't know if I have time for that, but looks interesting. His queen is nearly trapped. Yeah, I don't see a move for the queen. The bishop is guarding the diagonal, preventing the queen from going backwards. On one side there's a pawn, the other side there's a rook, and then this diagonal is guarded by the rook. And the bishop is guarding this square. So he traded his queen for a rook. It's the best he could do. And well, this is on a good square. Let's just leave it there. Open things up a little bit. Maybe bring my queen over to... Well, I can't really harass that knight. It's defended pretty solidly. Just soften up the center a little bit. Okay, we can do this. On this side, I think here, because I might like to trade that knight if I can. So knight here. Threatening the pawn because of the pin. So now going after the knight. What I really need to do is open the position up. The advantage of the queen is not really felt when it's all clogged up with pawns here. So I just should trade. I don't know if I should trade pieces, but I should trade something. I mean, it's probably better to keep the pieces on and trade pawns. But I didn't have that option that I saw. Okay, so I go here. It's threatening the pawn. But he might just play g5. He plays that. Okay. Mate better? And did I miss a mate? Where is my mate? Yeah, I didn't see it. Let's see. And just start pushing these pawns and opening them up. He could have traded rook and bishop for queen last game. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna push this pawn too. Okay, hitting his rook. Now what? Now what? Let's get rid of the bishop so we have a rook versus queen situation. Okay, I am exposing my king, huh? So if he pushes, I go here. If he takes, I'll take with the queen. I could end up in one of these queen and rook, queen versus rook end games, which is very difficult. So that, yeah, pinned the rook, and when you have a pawn, it makes those queen and rook end games much easier. Don't quite understand what the deal is. If he ever comes down here and checks, I'll just take this pawn. And I can attack his rook. Then I can make another queen. It's not going to be hard to win this one. Even if I were lower on time than this, I would be able to win this one. Okay, so we start by pushing his king back away from this pawn. And then what? Oh, I know, I'm supposed to... if he goes here, I can check. If he runs here, he's on the back rank. Okay, there's probably better technique, but this gets the job done. And there we go. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah, I think that's it for this session. Let's